Okay, so it's like Castaway. Except instead of an island, it's a post-apocalyptic desert. And Wilson is now a dog and a robot voiced by the creepy brother from Get Out. Well, I'm sold. Hi, everyone. No, legitimately, I am. Hi, everyone. It's me, Grant, the movie and TV guy. Hello. Movies, TVs that we do here, and I know I still haven't gotten the Jason Sudeikis. I gotta be honest with you, guys, I might be done with SNL reviews for a while. I can't. I'm running out of adjectives. It's really just kind of like, it has to be memorably great or memorable. And Jason Sudeikis' episode was very funny. Actually, that was quite hysterical, but just like, it's just gonna be variation on that skit was funny, that skit sucked, that skit was funny, that skit didn't work, that all of it was terrible. It's just hard to really keep that kind of momentum. It's for a review. But, you know, who knows. Kieran Culkin is hosting tonight. I'm excited about that. I'd never seen Succession, but Wallace Wells, hello, from Scott Pilgrim's. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about a movie. The movie and TVs we do here, and today we're talking about a movie that might be under your radar, and it should be on your radar because it's very, very good. It's called Finch. Yeah, that's right, everybody. It's the gritty DC-style reboot of To Kill a Mockingbird we've all been waiting for. No, it's actually not Atticus Finch or, you know, a bird by any, you know, the actual bird. It's about a character specifically. Well, first off, who was involved? Well, the film was directed by a guy named Miguel Saponicek? I think his name is Saponicek. Whose has one previous film under his belt. He's mostly done TV, a lot of Game of Thrones, I think a little bit of Westworld. The only film he's directed before is a film that isn't that great, but it's alright. A film called Repo Men from about 10 years ago with Jude Law, and I believe was it Forrest Whitaker? It might have been Forrest Whitaker. It was Lawrence Fishburne, maybe. It had Jude Law in it, that's all I know. Samuel L. Jackson. If you don't know that meme, you gotta look it up. Now, there was this idiot who, a morning show host who mistaked Samuel L. Jackson for Lawrence Fishburne, who was really funny. And he gave him... What made it funny was not the inadvertent racism, that didn't make it funny. What made it funny is Sam Jackson chewing the guy out and trying every possible way not to say the F word on live TV. That's what made it funny. Mother effer. Lawrence Fishburne. The best joke from that is, you know, okay, Grant, you're on off track. It's like, you're just as crazy as the people on Twitter. That was a joke. Alright, moving on. So what's the film about? And who else is involved? Well, the film stars Tom Hanks, and he is the Finch of the title. More specifically, Finch Weinberg is his name. He seemed to be from, you know, moderate backstory. We get from him mostly through dialogue to be some kind of engineer of some sort, building robotics. It's set in post-apocalyptic St. Louis, so hell yeah, St. Louis, that's where I'm from. Solar flares have wiped, and other global climate-related seeming incidents have caused the world to become a desert landscape. The only companion that Finch has is his faithful dog, Goodyear, played by dog actor Seamus, who is, I'm giving him credit because he's, like, excellent, this dog. Finch is in a bit of a dilemma, however, with the dog, is that he is probably one of the last people on Earth, and here's one problem. The solar energy that is powering the air is slowly poisoning his blood. He's coughing up blood on a daily basis. He's going to die soon. So here's the big dilemma. He needs someone to take care of his dog. But there is no other someone, so he's going to build that someone in the form of a robot that he later names Jeff, voiced and mocapped by Caleb Landry Jones. Fine character actor. And together they go on a road trip to escape a solar flare storm that's headed toward them. And in the process, Jeff wants to go to the Brooklyn Bridge. But will Finch make it in time to reach that goal? And will Jeff ever bond with the dog named Goodyear? Let the road trip begin. I'm going to tell you something right now. This film is produced by Steven Spielberg and Robert Zemeckis, and I think that's really important. It's an Amblin production in collaboration with Walden Media, the Narnia people. This is, despite how grim that premise sounded, this is one of the best family films here. I loved Finch. What I loved about Finch was, in classic Spielberg fashion, it has big special effects, but it uses them to the benefit of story and character. This reminds me of some kind of underrated Spielberg efforts like the BFG, in that it has big special effects elements, but it's a family film that also lets moments happen. It's melancholy. Characters deal with real life struggles, and they handle it realistically without going too far with it and losing that kid-friendly energy to it. I loved Caleb Landry Jones as the robot Jeff. I thought that character was wonderful and delightful. The dog, played by Seamus, is great. And of course, Tom Hanks. He's Tom Hanks. He's America's dad. Like, Tom Hanks... I know you're always going to go back to that SNL monologue he did where he was talking to the audience like he was, like, giving us, dad-like motivation, because that's who he is. He's America's dad. So it's really great, and I like, the reason he calls the dog Goodyear is fascinating. It really feeds into the backstory in a dramatic fashion, and it leads to a real gut punch of a climax that genuinely made me bawl my eyes out. It was really good. Also, I'm a sucker for any movie that bookends itself with performances of Don McLean's American Pie. That is my favorite song of all time. I love it. And this movie just made me feel that warm feeling that Spielberg and Amblin films only could give me. That inner thing that says, like, 6-year-old Grant, which is still in here somewhere, is smiling and crying and happy. And I loved Finch. There's not really much more to say. I also should point out that though it's a special effects movie, it's not an action movie. There's a couple of scenes of suspense, but the climax is emotional, not in an action movie way, in a character way. This is a wonderful movie. This is going to be in theaters by Universal, I believe. It got sold off to Apple TV Plus. It was originally going to be called Bios, I believe the name of the movie is going to be. I love this movie. I wonder, it might still be in a handful of theaters. I really do think this is worth seeing on the big screen. If you can find it. I don't know what it is, but even if you can't, go check out Finch. It's so good, and it's the kind of family film we need more of nowadays. And this has been a pretty good year for family. Between this and like Flooring Ulysses and like the animated stuff like Mitchell's vs. Machines, Wrong Gone Wrong, this has been a commonly good year for family films. And this is another one. So, and it's one that'll get that rarest of things for a family film. You see it. Flawless. Bang. 5 out of 5 stars for Finch. I loved this movie. I immediately recommended it to all my relatives, most of whom are children who are grown. And when I say kids, it's not for babies, it's for like 10 and up. But like, it's older kids. It's more like in the vein of something like, I don't know, like a Jurassic Park. But it's so good. And it shouldn't have been PG-13. That was too much for this. Deeply, deeply great little movie. It's called Finch. Give it a go. It's on Apple TV Plus. It's so worth your time. And it's such a good flick. Alright. 5 out of 5 stars. Finch closes the book on it. Trailer trash none, although on Apple TV Plus they often will do an ad. They did an ad for a series coming out called The Shrink Next Door. It actually looks really good. It's like Paul Rudd and Will Ferrell and Catherine Hahn. And it seems to be like a dark comedy about a guy who moves in next door to a therapist, and the therapist might have ulterior motives, and it turns into kind of a thriller. It looks kind of interesting. I'll definitely check that one out. Good cast involved. It almost looks kind of like Brian Fantana turning the tables on Ron Burgundy. Because they have those two. And then, wasn't Catherine Hahn was in Anchorman, the first one too. That's right. She was like one of the... She was like a minor character, but she was in it. Oh, shit. Good actors out of the Apatow camp. Good actors. Anyway, and Mozart Sharma, no, there was not. Although, again, worth listening to the credits just to hear American Pie. That song is awesome. Still a bop like 50 plus years later. Alright. That dude made 2 of the best songs ever and then just kind of disappeared. He also made Vincent, which is another one of my favorite songs. If you don't know what it is, it also goes by the title Starry Night. That is a beautiful song. Alright. Alright, we will be back. Probably not for SNL, guys. I'm going to be perfectly real with you. I do want to next week, though, as maybe at the season end, talk about Blade Runner Black Lotus. Because I'll be watching that after SNL. I'm going to tape it. Or record it, rather. But let's see, next week, so far, I think we're only of the theatrical with Clifford. We're seeing that Tuesday night. Maybe Belfast, rather, next weekend. Although I think it's expanding on things. I know it's at least coming to our theater on Thanksgiving week. I don't know if it's coming like the first weekend. We'll see that whenever we can. French Dispatch, if it expands, I doubt it, but we'll check it out. We'll see if French Dispatch eventually. I'm going to see it before the year is out. Or before the best of list is minted. And then we are going to... Well, Red Notice is coming out. We're going to check out Red Notice. And then I think there's Ghostbusters and King Richard. And probably more. We'll figure out next week. That'll all be next time. And until next time, I read the movie TV guy. I see it all. and I'm happy to share it with you. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I love you all, class semester. I love you 3000. Be kind to one another. If you like this video, give it a like if you want to. Give it a subscribe if you want to. Give it the bell. I don't know what it does, but that's what you're supposed to do. And if you want to find me elsewhere, reviews, lists, and other fun stuff, including my ongoing list of the best and worst films of the year, you can check me out on letterboxd.com at Grant the Movie TV Guy. Some of you already have, but even if you haven't, though, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your mental health, and know that you're loved, and I'm one of those people. I love you all, and thank you all. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. See you soon. Bye.